Hi, this is Thea Lightweaver. This video that I'm recording is called We Are Living in the End Times, the Kali Yuga. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Kali Yuga, it was written about in the ancient Hindu texts like the Puranas and the Vedas. There are said to be 4 ages. There's a golden age, a silver age, a bronze age, and an iron age. And right now we are living in the iron age. That means this is the worst age. It's the shortest one of all of them, but this is the age where most of the goodness and purity and truth are not here anymore. The golden age was a time of harmony and living with the land and having respect and truth and living to our full lifespan. And the next age, the silver age, had some of that goodness taken out. It got a bit shorter. The next age, the bronze age, was an equal mix of good and bad, and that age is shorter. And now we're in the Kali Yuga, which is said to be ruled by the Hindu demon Kali. This is not associated with the goddess Kali, but there's a demon called Kali. I believe their names are pronounced differently. The A's maybe long or short vowels, and I can't. I've always been bad with that sort of thing, but just know that the goddess Kali is not the demon Kali who is ruling the Kali Yuga or the end times. And so I just want to read this just in case anyone is not sure whether they believe that we're actually in the Kali Yuga or some kind of end times. This is a list that was basically taken from the Vedic text given by the Srimad Bhagavatam. So these symptoms will let people know whether we are in the Kali Yuga or not. And actually, it's calculated down to the years, which I'll go into later. But we almost know how much longer this is going to go on. So here is the list. The first symptom of that we are in the Kali Yuga is, number 1, genuine religion will disappear day by day, and we see less people dedicating their life to spirit, and it's more about themselves. And the religion that is out there has kind of been hijacked, and it's not as pure anymore in a lot of people's minds and practice. So that's a symptom that we have right now. Number 2, people will be unclean, untruthful, merciless, short-lived, and weak of memory. Number 3, wealth alone will be the indicator of a person's social status. And I know a lot of people who think that they're better than other people if they have more money, or they think people of low social status don't matter. Of course, there are people who don't think that way, but a lot of people do. The 4th symptom, those with power and influence will escape justice and flout the law. So that's definitely happening right now. Number 5, in place of marriage, men and women will live together simply due to romantic attraction without a deep commitment. Number 6, the worth of a man or woman will be judged according to their expertise in sex. Okay. Number 7, success in business will depend on deceit, which is something that happens a lot when you see the narcissists in the workplace these days. They can be good at making money because they have no morals, basically, and just use people. Number 8, those who do not have money will be considered substandard human beings. Yes, you can see that with the way the government or corporations treat people who don't have very much money. They may just dump chemicals all over their land and not care. Number 9, hypocrisy will be accepted as a virtue. Number 10, beauty will be judged simply by one's hairstyle. Number 11, people will think that eating well is the highest goal of life, like having enough to eat or, being well fed. Number 12, People will practice religion simply to achieve fame. And there are a lot of people who claim to be gurus or whatever, or preachers, and they were just interested in, the esteem that it brought to them versus being of service to others. Number 13, there will be widespread famine, excess taxes, and people will be forced to flee to forests and mountains. Number 14, the maximum duration of life will be 50 years. I think I read somewhere that our life expectancy is starting to decline. Number 15, by the end of the Kali Yuga, human beings will be of a reduced size, the Vedas will be completely forgotten, and the leaders of society will be thieves. Number 16, people will have no other professions than simply cheating, killing, and stealing from one another. So basically, by the end of the Kali Yuga, it's going to degrade into all of these things to the extreme. And we already see basically all of this right now. And I feel like people have just gotten so used to it that people don't seem to stop and be like, wait a minute, like, what is going on? It's so commonplace, all of these things now. What I'm saying here, I know is a bit controversial as far as like the spiritual community or the New Age community, because they want to think that as long as you just stay positive, you'll be one who sees that actually all the bad stuff already ended and that we're in some kind of new dawn of golden age right now. And to that I say, like, look around you. I mean, that's like an extreme form of disassociation, which actually I've gotten pretty good at because of my childhood, unfortunately. But let's like stay awake here and keep our eyes open and see what's going on around us. It's bad. Like, can we just acknowledge that it is horrible right now because of all the corruption? There's so many narcissists out there who just cheat and steal and destroy people, and to them it's nothing. It means nothing to them. And I think by the end of the Kali Yuga, that will be the majority person out there. And these people don't even know that they're doing it because they're completely overrun by the dark forces, by the demon Kali and all of its minions. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's an energy put out into the grid system here, not to just be completely negative, because what is the opportunity in going through something like this? We are in a university level classroom. It is difficult as hell, and if it were not difficult, if there were no Kali Yugas, we wouldn't get the opportunity to evolve. So the biggest opportunity of these times is soul evolution. If you can stay connected to your higher self, no matter the madness going on around you, no matter all the triggers, no matter all the ways that you can get overly like opinionated about something and decide, I'm gonna do something about this, I'm gonna save the world. But if instead of that, you can just with detachment say, I'm connected with my higher self, I can't be pulled into unconsciousness by all this illusion or Maya around me. Instead, I'm staying connected with my higher self. If you can do that in the middle of the Kali Yuga, you've just escaped these cycles, the endless cycles. But if you're someone who you completely allow yourself to be overrun, you're lying, you're cheating, you're going off into violence in order to prove your point or something, you're falling right into the hands of what this is all about. So all of these challenges, this whole web is meant to catch soul, to be a test. It's like a big classroom. So a lot of people are stuck in the test. They keep thinking, oh, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to make the Kali Yuga no longer be the Kali Yuga. But it's like, it has to be like this. Why? Because it's a time world. In the time worlds, everything ends and begins. This is a physical world where there's beginning and ending, meaning everything is born, everything dies, including the world, the whole planet is gonna die. It's gonna die. And it's difficult, but it's all a big illusion to try to make us lose consciousness. If we get so mesmerized by this play of Maya or illusion, and we forget that we are eternal beings, then we're gonna just stay in the web. I guess I'm just making this video to say, I hope everyone, no matter what you're going through, that you can stay connected to your higher self. Nothing is worth losing that connection. No pain, no pleasure, no amount of money or anything is worth losing that connection with your higher self. And if you do lose it and you get caught up in this web, you're just gonna keep having to be reborn here. You're gonna fail this university, and then what? If you don't evolve out of this, you will get put to sleep with all the other souls who didn't evolve out when the Kali Yuga ends, and you're gonna have to start all over in the golden age, stuck in a dualistic classroom of illusion. The way to get out of this is to stay connected with your higher self and to have loving detachment, to stay neutral. Because each side is a game and a play off of itself, and each side is basically the same thing. It's just tricking you into thinking you're on the winning side, when really there is no winning side. There's just illusion. Neither good nor bad is the answer, it's the middle path. Like Buddha said, the middle path is the way to nirvana. I mean, we care, we have compassion for each other, but we cannot make the matrix not be the matrix. What we can do is leave the matrix. And I think some people are just thinking that this world is paradise, and their hopes lie in turning it around and making this world paradise again. And for those people, I think you guys must have never soul traveled before. You must have never gotten out of your body and gone outside of the time worlds. Because yes, it can be beautiful here, but do you know what it feels like to be in a place that doesn't have duality? To be in a place above time? To be in a place with no mind? Do you know what that is? And that's where we've all come from. But the Matrix made us forget so that it can trap us here, so that we can go through this university. To know what time is and know what separateness is, but do you know what it feels like to be back one with the ocean of love and mercy? And if you can't remember it, just believe me when I say this is not it. We're just tangled up and trapped for a bit. But outside of this world of suffering, we can have true connectedness. This world it's a way to get there. Like, in order to get hired in a certain job, you have to have a certain degree. And that's what this world is. Do you want to graduate? Do you want to move on to the purer realms? Do you? Or do you just want to stay here trying to declare that you're going to make this world into something that it's not, that it was never meant to be? You're going to take away this whole world's purpose, which is to help soul evolve. And soul cannot evolve if it stays in a golden age forever. We are not meant to be addicted to spiritual highs and think that we're supposed to stay in that. This world is a world of highs and lows, valleys and boredom and plateaus. And through all of it, the test is, can you stay connected to your higher self? So within the Kali Yuga, karma is said to have been sped up very quickly. Like not even that long ago, for someone to leave the area that they were born and travel somewhere outside of that area was not that common, and certainly most people didn't travel all over the world. Like now we have the ability to do that. we interact with, like, I don't know, like 100 times more people than we used to, not even that long ago, through the internet, or just being able to get into your car and see people you've never seen before. That wasn't a thing that long ago. So karma is sped up really quickly. We meet lots of people, we have lots of experiences, we're overly stimulated all the time. That's part of the Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is said to last 432,000 years of man, which sounds like a long time, but the longest age, the golden age, was 1,728,000 years, and they keep getting shorter. The Silver Age was 1,296,000 years. The Bronze Age was 864,000 years. And now the Kali Yuga is only 432,000 years. And we have been around a lot longer than what history tries to say. I think they found evidence that the Sphinx is like 10,000 years old, or could be older, even though mainstream history tries to say it's 4,000 years. I think there's a religious reason why they don't want to say it's older than that, but we've been around a while, and we've been in the Kali Yuga not even that long. Some say we've been in the Kali Yuga maybe 2,000 to 4,000 years so far, but it's just going to keep deteriorating and getting worse and worse and worse. People are going to get more corrupt. The world's going to get more poisoned. There's going to be more natural disasters, or more disasters created by geoengineering. There's going to be more and more wars. It's just bad. I mean, most people will be narcissistic and have no empathy. It's just all going to be about themselves. There's just going to be lying and cheating. That's going to be the majority. And why is it getting like this? And that's the reason why is because we are now presented with the opportunity to get an extremely high degree, as a metaphor, for soul to evolve. You have to go through this kind of separation and test or experience to get that soul knowledge and evolution and development. Some people will not get the lesson, and those are the ones who are just going to keep incarnating over and over. Through how many ages is it going to take? It's not a competition. If it takes people a lot of ages, then it does. But I'm ready to get out of this, so I'm not falling for this anymore. I guess I made this because if you just look up at the sky and you see the whole freaking sky is covered with chemtrails, so you can't even enjoy a nice day outside, or you turn on the news and see that there's been like multiple daily shootings, or you see that corporations are dumping chemicals somewhere, or medical professionals are experimenting on people, or there's new wars with complete disregard for life, and you see all that and you may feel hopeless, but just know that that is not what we are. We are just in a difficult age. What is required of us at this time is to stay connected with our higher selves and not to go unconscious. Staying connected with your higher self, it's not something that you can think up, like there's no thoughts or philosophy or something that's gonna do that for you. The way to stay connected to your higher self is to be silent, is to listen to the silence. It's to close your eyes and see the light in between your brows. Look at that light, listen to the silence, and that is going to get you out of this, get you out of Maya's illusion and trap. The silence, the sound in the silence, and the light are the purest forms of what you could call God or spirit. The sound and the light are separate from karma and duality and beginnings and endings. The sound and the light were always there. The sound and the light are within us as spiritual beings. Any kind of thought or emotion or cause is a part of the matrix. The mind is a computer within the dualistic world. Once you move into the higher realms, there's no mind anymore. So there's no concepts, there's just the sound in the silence. And it doesn't even have to be silent, the sound is everywhere. And surrender to the sound and the silence. Surrender and warmth, love, detachment. And to truly love is acceptance and detachment in a way that's just allowing for anything just to be. So no matter what is going on around you, you will always have your higher self that can never be taken, no matter what kind of world you end up in, no matter what's happening around you. And that sound and light is our path out of the dualism and out of the time world. So this is a time of endings that could come in 400,000 years, but the predominant energy now is endings, which is an opportunity in disguise.